Welcome to Satsang. The one you search to realize is ever here. The only thing is the confusion. It looks like we believe in a confusion that presents the mind. So even when one feels identified for such a period of time, and so suddenly shake up and try not to grasp this object of identification, it means the time is still considered. The time. And the time is a concept of the mind. Mind is made out of time and space. So, if one is not hypnotized by the time, he will never consider, oh, I've been disidentified, and so it means, we know what it means for the mind. It means I was not myself for that time, and I have to remind myself. But in fact, those movements are just quite illusory for the one you are. So it means there is still a belief that who you really are could be ever in time. In time are the expressions of yourself, maybe, but expressions. A painting of a cat is not a cat. It's an expression. So, once again, I have to say, don't trust the mind which always comes with some suggestions, some presentation. Don't trust the mind. Mind is perfect as it is. It comes and goes on changing, and is the expression of who you are. But don't confuse expression for who you are, otherwise you are deluded and you suffer and you want to search who you are. So from here, everything is fine. Yet, I agree that there is a time for everything, that as there was a time of search, still may be there in you. There is a time of no search. There is a time of demystification. And there is a time of realization. And there, the habits can still be very strong. So it takes the time it takes. Just the time that finally you abide in yourself without even feeling that strong habits are there. For that, Master had a wonderful suggestion. It's very deep, much deeper than what the mind thinks. Keep quiet. means don't nourish those habits. Keep quiet. And then they may still appear, but they will not have this so-called strength. Keep quiet. Means don't nourish. Don't nourish. Keep the bull on leash. One can be vigilant or keep the bull on leash or keep quiet only when he already realized himself. You see, how can you be vigilant if you are still searching? If you are still searching, go on searching, finish off with that. Once you know who you are, be vigilant so that the habits don't look like eating away who you are, which of course will appear to you naturally after some time that it was an illusion. So from where you are, just see, just inquire. And I find you are very lucky to have been attracted by this direct path of self-inquiry, because otherwise you may lose your life in different ways which promise to come to the same, but you die before, that is sure. So the direct path at least brings you where you always have been, alive. Any question about that? After all, it is our big passion. Or any sharing, or any doubt, always welcome in Satsang. Yes. Huh? What do you bring?
I always go from where, what you told me, from where everything comes from. I go there. I go to from where the feeling springs from, from where they come from where any experience. Because in Israel, I go. It's like samsaric Israel. There is a full happening, but I'm not afraid. I was not afraid to go to whatever was going on. I was not feeling Okay. But then again and again, I went from where it comes from.
Yes.
And before I left, you told me I have a concept of no mind. You told me they think that it will be flat, that it will be no troubling mind arising. And in Israel, there was a troubling mind. There is always a something is happening. I didn't feel lost, but I can see. Again, I objectify the feelings, I objectify the experiences.
Okay.
But when it comes to the I, to the sense of I, to the one I think I am.
Yes.
Then I'm trying again to go from where it comes from, and I don't think, and again and again I'm reminding myself that it will never be in the mind, but still I know that I always look, I still look, even if it's not out, I still look in.
Yes. Not bad. Then what else can you do? For a while, what else can you do? If you don't do that, you will feel lost because you are taken, since you say you have this strong habit to still grasp. Okay, so the best is this, I would say self-inquiry means from where all this comes from, because then it brings you always, it depends probably where, but at least where there is no object. Can you say, at least it brings me to the sense of I am? When I has no object, then it will bring this experience of I amness. There's no object there. But you say even something more. You say, okay, if I sense that, then from where this comes from? Very interesting. So here, not to make a loop, to always have some answer, just see who is aware of that. What is aware of that?
So when you say like this, I feel always there is something which is not I, which is not this I, and something, I feel there is, it's like somewhere there, and I always try to objectify it, I always try to...
Yeah, that is the habit.
That is the habit, and when I'm like, it's somewhere here, but the stopping occurs when I'm stopping to be, when I stop to look at what comes, and I'm just myself. But I then think, but it's still the I, it's still somebody who feels it.
You think? What do you think afterwards to say so? Not to make a loop, I say, to again think and again ask who am I, and you will find a subtler I. Just whenever you see it's appropriate, just see, but who is aware of that? What is aware of that? That's who you really are. Not as a you or as a I. But if this habit is so suggestive still to you, you will have to again ask, but who? Doesn't matter, but the best you can do, you do it. Just don't try not to make unnecessary loops, because you see all those tools included. Who am I really? It's still a tool. So it has its perfect function up to a certain extent. And if you use it all the time, it will create loops again. So that's why it is not to be asked all the time, because it will not be true all the time that you will project it to a no answer. Who am I doesn't require an answer, but it requires to be asked to your mind, and you go back from where it comes from, which must be you, which must be who you really are. Since I is the first rising. But if you are, for example, you are completely at loss because you lost your boyfriend and all that, the object is far away. So who is at loss, and you will say I, but you will still linked with this loss, and so it's not appropriate to ask who am I then. But when you are cut off with the objects for a moment, you ask this question, and it throws you where you already are, ever. This is who you are. Just do it now, you see. Anybody can do it now and sees what happens. Where are you? Where are you now?
I feel like in the bed of the river. It's like
Okay.
I don't feel
Yes.
whatever eyes from where it comes from where it comes.
So from where this comes from where this bed comes from. You want to rest a little bit? Okay.
I don't want to rest. I don't want to.
So from where this comes from? So here you see the mind will say, I don't know, because the mind cannot reach there. You are from where this comes from. The mind will not tell you anything that I don't know. That much he may tell. Because he cannot objectify from where this comes from, which is who you are. You see, if you, maybe not even knowing it, give the slightest grip to the mind, what will come out always will be sometimes this and sometimes that. So in the context of now, sometimes I am aware and sometimes I forget. So it means there is still the grip of the mind, as if the mind could ever be aware. No. If there is a sometimes, it's awareness from the time, from the mind, from someone. So who you are doesn't depend on a mind aware or forgetful. Who you are is not touched by that. No, there are strong habits appearing, and as I repeat myself, it doesn't matter, but here you have to be vigilant in order to make diminish their so-called reality, even though you demystified it. It's like that. But first realize yourself. First realize yourself. So this doesn't take time. After a long search, it doesn't take time. It has to click, it has to, I don't know what. From the most eagerness to be freed, from listening to the Master, Satsang, good Satsangs, or from a sudden reminder that you heard. This will be sudden. Yes.
Last time you gave me the image of.
You carried that with you? You see, then it was all right. It was correct.
So I inquired on it,
Why? There was some truth in it?
I think so.
Ah.
Not real truth, but the truth of the life.
Yeah.
So I found different, pushing myself, putting pressure on myself.
Oh, don't tell me all the descriptions.
You know that all.
Yes.
So that's what I.
Yes.
But I see, it doesn't mean anything. Still.
No, doesn't mean anything.
So-
Even if you do that.
Yeah.
But don't confuse yourself for that.
Yeah.
Yes. That's.
What was then the value of it? Not that I am interested in a way, but no value actually.
No way.
No.
This personality anyway will have some colors, huh? So
Yeah.
so many teachings, that is the pity, but so many teachings teach to be first sattvic, means no colors, transparent, purity. Huh? Personality has to be pure. A tile has to be transparent. What does it mean? And then a transparent tile is much more difficult to question because you are so well there. You have such a beautiful experiences. Life is so good. And then what? So we took the direct path, wild, because you will not look specially like being worth to have this big reward of realization, because you are a bit twisted here and there and not always with full of qualities. What to do? It's also who you are anyway, this expression. So we don't care about the appearance. We don't care about the appearance. And life is an appearance. So let's go directly to the subject of our search. You have the same question, Nori, or it left you?
Which person
Must be it left you then. Huh? It left you. Mhm. It's seen. Something left. Everything left you? Huh?
If I say yes or no, it's
Clever. Okay, if you say like this to everything you see and express, excellent.
Ganga,
Yes.
nothing wrong in expression, nothing wrong in
Nothing wrong?
nothing wrong with
Wrong.
wrong with expressions. With now, when you talk to me, I felt I could not go, like I was thrown where I cannot go anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then okay, now again expressions are coming. It's like I always
It's like I would not take the risk to immediately embrace all of them. You see? In that way, expressions, anyway, they come and go, they are illusions. Illusions comes from who you are. That is the truth. Yet, be vigilant, don't take the risk to embrace all the expressions, not even one. Because the mind, you see, you cannot trust. Nothing wrong. Okay. A bit early to say so. Otherwise, yes, nothing wrong. There was never a thing wrong. So you see, but since you still have in the mind there was something wrong, just be vigilant. Soma. It's long ago. What you would think? What you would say?
No?
Yes. No, not nothing.
Huh?
Not nothing.
No. I say I understand nothing.
But I may speak
Yeah.
Understandably. I know.
No, but which I understand, I tell you I understand nothing.
Like when you met Master the first time?
No.
So what does it mean?
I can't analyze what you say like before, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot put one idea on that, you know.
Okay. Well, you don't need. So it means you don't need to catch what I say to realize yourself.
Wow. To realize myself, I cannot catch what you say. You know, my mind is starting again to...
The sky is always there, and the weather changes in the sky, and the sky is never affected by the changes of weather. And so it can be sunny, it can be cloudy, stormy, the sky will always be there. So you cannot lose yourself.
No.
This is the base.
Yeah.
And then there is a rainbow going from states. I is sprouts. And I is what? It's a rainbow of states.
Yes.
From peace to agitation.
Hell.
So, okay, I don't have the concept that I will lose myself if
Yeah.
I am agitated or
Yeah.
if peacefully. It doesn't absolutely
Yeah.
doesn't matter in a way. But since months there has been a lot of storms.
Mhm.
I don't have the concept that I'm losing myself in that storm.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's still as the body and mind lives and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
die. I'm still living in
Yes.
in this samsara.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
The power of the habits are tough, is tough. They attack when they are no more taken for what they wanted to. I mean, in easy words, when they have been seen as illusions. They attack.
Yeah, but I'm still going in that.
Yes, of course. What is going into that? Sometimes stormy, sometimes, let's say, quiet, even if it is much more stormy now. Okay, because when it's quiet, you don't call it an attack. Okay.
But it's still an illusion.
It's still an illusion. But they attack. Now, if you really see, don't lose yourself, even though this life is troublesome, it's because you are in the attack. Here I say, again and again, remind yourself, be vigilant that it is so.
Yeah, but here then then I have a trouble here.
Okay.
I understand.
Yeah.
But then it looks like much before. Okay, you are in a quiet state, you think that the quiet state is better than the agitation and you go back to a quiet state, I'm not there. So
that's why I say in
and
the...
that's why it's a bit
I understand.
tricky for me.
But I said also today, I think only today I said so, that when it is sometimes, it means there is still a loose leash, means there is a risk there, because we look at the time. We take the time for real, or the time belongs to the life, to the I. Yeah? So here we have to keep so quiet. Maybe it's not even vigilance, I should say. You have to be so quiet and not wish that it stops. It will stop by itself if you keep quiet. Not at once. Only realization is at once. About habits, it's in time. You have to keep quiet even though it looks a paradox. Even though it looks like if I speak to someone. But you see, how do you explain? Now I take these examples. Buddha. We know, I could name also Papaji, but he didn't speak much about that. Nisargadatta. Nisargadatta said, he heard his master telling, you are that. It clicked, realization. And yet, he said, it took me 3 years. What does it mean? Nobody knows. But today I may understand this way. The mind attack. The habits are looking even stronger maybe. kept quiet. He trusted who he is really, kept quiet. Buddha, they say, no? They say. He saw, but in the legend it's like just 1 minute he saw monsters and dancers and whatnot, means the mind. We could imagine that it was not only 1 minute. Huh? And then he kept quiet. Not that he was detached. He kept quiet because he knew very well what's going on. The mind attacks. Then he was freed and went on teaching. Mm-hmm. So, I would say so. I cannot say something else. You see, if you feel lost, you know who you are. Yourself say, I know I don't lose myself. It must be from very deep. Otherwise one would not say so. And yet, but the mind speaks. No, but now the mind speaks. And now the mind is judging, complaining. Sometimes like this, and very little times now like this, and before it was much more like this, and sometimes heli. So, but after so much, it's the reward I have from self-realization, the complaint of the mind. The mind has not to enter here, so you have also not to listen to the complaint, to the feeling of a reward. It's gross, but still it's all that there. No? What could it be there? It belongs to sometimes, to the time, to the mind. Now you see those 3 years. It can take 3 months, 3 years, 30 years. Nobody knows, it's in the hand of no one. But if you really see what it is, you will not care in the end. You will not care. After all, you want what for? What for? For what? You took an incarnation. But you see, even Papaji says, there is Sat, Chit, Ananda. So, Ananda can flow only when those habits have lost their power. Isn't it? So, I think this is the price to pay. You have not to consider if it is hell or not today. This is the price to pay. Otherwise, what?
The weather goes on.
I didn't hear.
She said, I'm the sky, and the weather is beautiful weather and stormy weather. The weather goes on.
Yeah. It goes on. From storm to storm sometimes.
Yeah.
To tsunami.
Storm.
So even that you have to keep quiet. Buddha, what means the monsters? What is not the monsters? Monster meant a lot that every human being has got in him, which is the negative side. What for we took a birth? we carry all that. It was in front of him too. It's because, you see, the stories make it too simple. So it's good in a way, but when it comes to you, it's good to know that it was not like the story said, and yet it's like that. It's much more complex. So you have not to consider that life is like this or like that. For that, you have to love yourself, your real self. Because you see, if you are attracted to be your real self, why should you look so much to sometimes? Tell me.
Because this real self has every shape.
No,
That's
you
right.
have no, you no,
And
no,
no shape.
no, no. I would not say so here. You have to go from where no shape and shape of yourself comes out. Because if you speak like this, you give an opening to what's happening. You see, one can say, everything is myself only when he is in peace and bliss. In total peace and bliss, where is the difference? Now you are that, and fall in love with that, in order that the habits lose the power. Okay? No compromise. Is there anything now you tell? Okay. So, where are you here? Where are you here? You are in yourself, and the self, I mean the self to tell, it's really who you are, means not the one who has a name, a shape, and this and that. This you will not know, but you will be here with yourself. For that to help, we close the eyes, and whenever there is a shape or a name, you don't look at it. You are yourself. No name, no shape enter here. Be yourself as you already are. Beautiful. Very beautiful you are today. Oh la la. You say, Om means the first word which comes directly from who you are. You open the mouth, means Aum, close. Aum. You cannot escape. It's Aum. Now you have a prasad and you say thank you and you get the prasad because it's also a direct sweet. Ooh! Wow. They say, ooh. Say thank you. Voilà. Some les Suisses. Ah, merci Lila. Les Suisses. Voilà. Thank you. It's no, I think they like with milk. Thank you. Eh?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very nice. Hop, l'autre main, ça tient. Very nice. Voilà.
Est-ce que tu veux le baiser de
Oui,
ta
je t'en
main?
prie. Tu partages avec ta sœur. So fall in love. And if it is sometimes hard, because the mind loves to suggest something, remember that you had to take this incarnation after so many of search. You have the luck.
Yeah, but
Yes.
1 second.
No, please.
Fall in love because
Yeah.
you are, huh?
Yes.
But I don't know where to go. Because
You don't know where it go.
no, there. I mean,
Yeah, tell. I didn't hear.
yeah, because you say it's everywhere, it's nowhere, it's yeah. You
Yeah.
cannot. The mind cannot objectify. It doesn't go there.
Yes.
But at the same time, everything sprouts from there.
Yes.
So when you say fall in love,
Means don't grasp the everywhere, even if it is yourself.
The sky.
Don't grasp it. What happens? You spoke of the sky and the cloud. Huh? So, there must be something, but this you see only in a split second. The sky. It's not a state. Huh? It's not like sky and cloud, in fact. It's even something else. Okay. Beyond or prior to that. Okay. So, because these are still...
yeah.
Okay. So, there you are ever. So when I say fall in love, allow yourself not to go into expression to the anyway rise. Because I say they have still some power. So fall in love. Here maybe you have just to don't nourish, even if it is yourself, the expression, don't nourish them. As long as there is an abundance. All those words can be thought intellectually, but today don't touch them. Abundance, no abundance, there is an abundance. In self-realization, there must be an abundance. And when it's not yet there, be vigilant. Be vigilant. Even if you have seen everything is yourself, don't go there. When it looks there is a problem. Otherwise, have these experiences of oneness and it's myself. Still experiences.
Yeah,
I know, but then so what is there? Because what it looks to me, what happens is that you have seen, okay? And it's clear that everything is myself. So,
Yeah, or nothing. I mean.
or nothing.
Manifested or not manifested.
Okay,
Exactly.
then
Yeah.
why not? It doesn't matter if you go in something or in nothing.
Yeah, but that is the problem also in a way.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
This has been an experience. What has not been an experience is from where you could see all that. Fall in love with that, which is always there. So don't grasp at all even this truth. This expression, everything is myself and nothing is myself. Don't rely on any expressed truth. Am I clear? What's here now? Then why don't you love it? Not as a nothing contrary of something, but why don't you love it?
But I love it.
You love it when the expression is nothing. And when the expression is something, you're troubled. It's about who you are. There is no way out in the expressions.
Yeah, that's why.
There is no way out.
Mind is
No way out, because you see whatever comes, anyway, it's so complex. Maybe consequences of the past, maybe the attachment, maybe grasping of the past, all that. What we know is that it was an illusion to think that it was real, and yet it is real because it's myself. But the paradox is there about the expressions. Who you are is not falling into any paradox. It's just not graspable. All the expression falls into paradox. So you cannot trust is not the case now, but you cannot judge or care, even though it looks difficult. Here, fall in love with yourself. What does it mean? Nobody knows, and yet fall in love. Stay alone with yourself. What does it mean? Nobody knows, and yet you know very well. And my suggestion is to dedicate sometimes to just be that beyond expressions or no expressions. Just dedicate a second to that beyond expressions and no expression. So it's like that. Here I speak of keeping quiet or just be vigilant. You see in your example, the sky and the clouds is the description of the mind. Who you are, the one who is aware of all that is not even the sky.
No, but there I was taking the example with peace and cloudy was your heart of the state.
Okay. So dedicate, even to, it's like, at some point I say to someone, the one who is aware, that's who you are. Then the mind comes, oh, but who is aware? Lost it.
No, it's the mind.
Yes, but you do the same in a way. Wait, I want to explain. Lost it. Because if you again go to the mind to ask who is aware, then you make loops endlessly. So here it is.
Disappears. The mind disappears. There.
Yes.
The mind cannot go there.
Yes. There, fall in love with that. You see, many people, when they teach, they close their eyes in the beginning, yeah? Many teachers they are just in a state of quietness.
Yeah, but it's still the mind.
Let me speak, please. Huh? Okay. They are in a state of quietness, and then they speak. You see your father, master, when he's quiet, he's in no state. He's not in a state. He dedicates that much to that alone. To that alone. So, let's do that. Let's do that. Not that he needs it, but we may need it. Doesn't matter. Whatever comes in the mind about it. Let's do that. So that the power of the habits, of the states which always appear, diminish in reality or in whatever. Very important. You understand what I say?
Yeah.
I know what
Hey, Ganga, when I say I don't understand it, but what you say now, it touched me, but not through the mind. It touched me here.
Okay, then do it. It touches you because it's what you have to hear. Okay? Wonderful.